I feel like it took me forever, but I finally made it to 600 hours, which is the next level in Dreaming Spanish, and I'm super excited about it. It took me months to get here. I've been in school, so it's really diminished my time to be able uh, to input. So super happy that I got here. Um, Again, I watched my 450-hour update video again, and I was motivated by seeing that I did make a ton of progress. Of course, I already knew that because I had a few moments over the past few months, really in the past 30 days, that have shown me like I've definitely taken the next step in Spanish. So over the past few months, I would say there's been good, there's been bad. I'll kind of start with the good. The good, of course, naturally, I made a lot of progress. I feel like my listening comprehension has definitely moved up to the next level, and I found that I can now approach reading outside of a service like LinkQ, which has built-in assistance features that'll allow you to, get the definition or the translation of every word or entire sentences, and it's a great way to approach difficult pieces. But I started reading physical books, starting with Short Stories in Spanish by Ollie Richards. So it's a 3-volume series. The first 2 books, of which this is the second, um, are for like high beginner, low intermediate. I would definitely say low intermediate. Uh, I don't think there's anything beginner about these books, but um, yeah, they just have like really good like short stories. Each story has 3 chapters, and each chapter has 4 pages or so. So it's a very digestible amount of material, and I do about 1 chapter a day. And then, like I said, yeah, 2 books at this level, and then book 3 is at the intermediate level. And after book 3, I plan on reading Como Agua para Chocolate. Probably butchered the pronunciation, but whatever. Um, so it's been nice to see that I can actually read now without having digital assistance. So that's been a big motivator, because once you can start to read, you can really take off in a language, which was my experience with Japanese. And on the listening front, which is really the bedrock of all of this, I had a few moments where I really sensed that I grew. I move on. I moved up a level for sure. Um, like in the past, I had watched some series uh, on Netflix, and although you can enjoy them because they're still the visuals and you understand some Spanish, so it helps you kind of follow the plot. I definitely found myself lost a lot. But recently, I watched 2 shows over the past month. They were like mini series on Netflix, which is perfect for me. It's like 6 episodes, so you can kind of follow the characters and follow the plot over the span of maybe a week if you watch 1 episode a day, and then you can get something new, which has been perfect. But those 2 shows were El Jardinero, which is a show from Spain, and Senna, which is a show about the Brazilian Formula One driver named Senna. And I was pleasantly surprised with how much I could understand from both of those shows. I mean, disclaimer, obviously there was a ton of vocab that I didn't know, but I understood more than I didn't. And I found that I was able to follow the show and the plot well enough to just kind of sit down and watch it like I would any other show. And that was super motivating. Because again, once you get to the point where in a language where you can start to consume native media and derive real entertainment from it in a similar way that you would be entertained from watching something in your native language, it's Steve Kaufman from LinkQ. He refers to it as having kind of like a beginner stage, an intermediate plateau, and then a takeoff stage. That's for me. That's really been a sign of being in the takeoff stage, where you can start to enjoy things in the language, not in a way that is catered for language learners per se. So super excited about that. So mostly everything's been great. The bad. At the end of my 450 hour update video, I briefly mentioned that I was going on a trip to Mexico, and I did. I went to Oaxaca, and I had a lot of fun on that trip. Ate so much food, gained a bit of weight as I planned on doing. Food there was incredible, but there was, obviously a few occasions, just doing normal touristy stuff, going to restaurants and whatnot, where I had to output. I found that I had enough Spanish to order and everything. That was no problem. I could do everything I needed to do. But whenever there was any kind of like follow-up question, I found that I just couldn't find the words that I needed. And I told myself at 600 hours, I would book another conversation. Well, actually, not another. My very first conversation practice. Because I do have a tendency to put that off. Because I'm not somebody who can tolerate excessive failure in producing the language. But I don't want to put it off till the end, So I told myself at 600 hours I would do it, and I did. And I did it this morning. And comprehension-wise, I could understand my partner very well. But output-wise, although I definitely improved versus when I was in Oaxaca, I still couldn't find the words that I needed. And I can tell that I'm still not comfortable enough with the grammar to understand like what form I need to use of something. Like it's not coming out naturally. So I'm still not there, which is okay. I pretty much expected that. So I think I will try booking another lesson, and I use Italki. I think I'll book another lesson at 700 hours and see how I do then. But I'm glad I did the 600 hour conversation practice, so I at least have a frame of reference. But yeah, so that's pretty much been the past few months. A lot of progress with comprehension, and yeah, a big milestone in being able to watch native content, being able to watch, some native content. I definitely still turn on shows or movies or some YouTube videos that are kind of outside the topics that I've watched with the highest amount of frequency. And they are still pretty difficult, but I can now access native level content and watch it and enjoy it, which has been huge. And the other milestone is being able to read, like physical copies of books. So yeah, a lot of exciting things. I think I'll make another video at 800 hours. And until then, take care, and we'll see you later.